I've been asked to show some of the finer points and details that I've learned about making hand drill friction fire. I want to keep this concise, so let me just hop to it. What I'm going to do first is to show my technique of making hand drill fire using solidago or other stem. This could be cattail, even yucca could be used with this method. There's a number of others. Mullein is a commonly used one, but this is the wild stem. It's a type of goldenrod that's pretty thick. As you can see, it's got a pretty thick end to it, and I'll show more of this close up in a moment. And this is either on cottonwood or box elder. This happens to be box elder. I have both of these growing on my property, so it's easy for me to access. Any softwood known for these properties will work. Willow, sycamore, poplar, many others. It's hard to show everything, but I have this drilled for this particular stem. Fits in this one on the end. I've already burned it in. I've made fire, in fact, there. You can use either end as long as it's cut square and has a solid pith center. So I have another couple of these cut that will fit. There's a particular sound that will help you know whether or not you've got the right kind of friction, and I'll get that close up in a minute too. I just want to show you the drill technique because there's been some misunderstanding about what I do. I like to use a long stem for one reason. I'm old and I like to be sitting down in a comfortable position without having to bend over. There are those who can make fire using a very small stem, doing this number. Well, I can't bend over far enough usually to do that. It's easier for me, and over the years I have just determined this is what works for me. Now this is with the long stem friction hand drill fire. It's really pretty simple. I'm going to take this brace off. I wear a brace most of the time, but it gets in the way. I point this out, the brace, because I have an injury, an old injury to my hand, which may change the way that I do the hand drill. I favor that wrist. So I've not really studied how I do this. And it's for that reason that I'm making this video, because I've been asked to. This is the basic motion. Now, in the beginning, you can use from fingertips almost to the back of the heel part of your hand, the fleshy part of your hand. But when you really get down to it, or when I do, I tilt my hands a little bit, and I use the fleshy parts of my palms while I'm exerting pressure downward. And then I just do this over and over. Not excessively hard, but hard enough to get the friction. You hear a squeak. That's a pretty good indication that I'm doing it correctly. And you just do that over and over. Something that I use to help this process is beeswax. You can get beeswax in a hobby store, or on eBay, or anywhere. But I apply a little of that to my hands for two reasons. I also apply it to the stem. You don't always have this available, You might not have it available in the wilds, but you probably can find some tree sap or any sticky substance that will serve the same purpose. Beeswax is ideal. Now what this does for me is it gives a better grip so that as I'm going down, I can push down harder. Just over and over again. It does slip out from time to time. It doesn't matter. If you're quick about it, and you don't have to set the world on fire, no pun intended. But if you're just even and quick about it, you develop the kind of friction and heat needed to make fire. It wears me out because, as I said, I'm old and out of shape. But it doesn't take long. Get smoke and then fire. My hands are pretty conditioned to this. Your hands may not be. The beeswax will help protect them. But there's no big mystery about it. This is what you do. If you have the correct materials, this will make fire. But having the correct materials and using them correctly is extremely important. Now this squeaking means that I'm about to get smoke and fire. I can't talk above the squeaking and have it understood, but let me explain a couple of things that will help you. Number one, and I'm going to change the position of the camera here.